Craig, Raul Jimenez has talked to Sky Sports last week, and he says Wolves can make the top four. But we know there are a ton of clubs chasing, marquee clubs too, Atletico Madrid, Manchester United, Chelsea, just to name a few. And Wolves right now is in 6th. So let's say they don't make that top four, Craig. They don't make Champions League. Should Jimenez stay there with no Champions League football?
Well, that might be taken out of their hands, Sebi, because the decision, because of what the globe we're facing around the globe, that decision may or may not be taken for them, i.e. the positions that all the clubs are in, maybe the positions that they're designated come what would be the end of the season, quote unquote. So we don't really know. Do Wolves have a chance if the season was to start up again of getting in the top four? I think they really do have a good shot at it. I think they've got a good enough squad. However, we've talked about Raul Jimenez before, and he really is at that crux point of his career where he's coming to an age where it's a big, big decision, because if he doesn't make the right one now, it comes and goes. So I think if Wolves don't make the top four by whatever route that is, and we don't know, then I think Raul Jimenez, as good as Wolves have been for him and he's been for them, I think she'd be looking to bigger and better things before he gets to that other side of 30. Because once he gets to that other side of 30, the suitors are not out there as much.
Herc, you agree? No Champions League football. Raul should move on?
Yes, I do agree. I don't know if you started this by saying Atletico Madrid. Maybe I heard wrong about who was sitting with Wolves, but I don't know if that's exactly what I heard. Listen, Raul Jimenez, this is his chance, like Craig just said. He's 28 years old. He's at that turning point, or I guess that fork in the road in his career. He didn't have the easiest go in Benfica, didn't have the easiest go in Atletico Madrid. It's just literally the one chance he has right now to make it to the next level, because he's a very good player. You've seen what he's done against the Big Six. You've seen what he's done in the EPL. You see what he means to this Wolverhampton team, to Bruno Espirito Santos, and that setup. But it's got to be now. They've got both Chelsea and United and even Leicester City within their reach, within their sights. And listen, I know we're in a global pandemic right now, and we don't even know if the league's going to continue or not. But if it's there, and it's realistic, I think this team has a shot. Champions League or bust, like Craig said. And if he doesn't get that Champions League, you have to move on.
I want to read you guys a quote from Jimenez. I am very good at Wolves, but you always have to look for more. Seems like a guy who, as you kind of both mentioned, could be looking for more. Listen, the two Premier League teams that are, at least from what I see, most heavily and consistently linked to Jimenez are Manchester United and Chelsea. Craig, one of your former clubs. Which one's a better fit for Jimenez, Craig?
Good question. I mean, it would depend what Man United do in the transfer market. The one thing I would say, and supporters of clubs never really want to hear it, is when a player wants to move on, wants to better himself, or when a player is linked with other clubs in the media, everyone becomes the bad boy out there because X, Y, and Z are so happy at this club. But sometimes you've got to realise it's a career. And like every different facets of industry, people will generally want to further that career and move up the ladder. So you couldn't blame any of the players for doing that. Look, I think he would be a great fit at both clubs. Chelsea are in need of a striker. Tammy Abraham has done well, but whether he can continue to do that remains to be seen. Olivier Giroud will be short-term at Chelsea. So they're in the market. The upside for a potential move to Man United, and I say potential, Seb, is, and we actually discussed this on the ESPN FC show, was if, say, I think United will target, how can I put this? I think they'll target a higher quality, bigger name player. And I know you might say to me,
then Jimenez.
Well, no. Given the choice of Raul Jimenez and Harry Kane, you're taking Harry Kane, right? Okay, Harry Kane's probably only secondary to Robert Lewandowski as the best out-and-out frontman, natural striker on the planet at the moment, certainly in Europe. The problem here arises is that United need a little bit of a rebuild, or a lot of a rebuild. So it's not just a striker. It's Jadon Sancho, possibly. It's another centre-half. It's another midfielder because Fred's done well, but I don't think it's long-term for me. Matic is coming towards the sort of twilight of his career. So there are other facets of that team that need to be replenished. And if Tottenham want to try and hold out for 150 and 200 million and blow that Man United budget completely out the water, then they've got a decision to make. Do we put all our eggs in the one Harry Kane basket, if that's the player we want? Or do we spread it out a little bit more, go for a striker who is slightly cheaper or a lot cheaper? That would be Raul Jimenez. and then we can go and spend in one or two other places in the side. And I think that could work in a striker like Jimenez's favour if United decide to go down the strategy of spreading the budget out a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Little bit. I think I followed you. Herc, what do you think? Manchester United or Chelsea?
It's clear.
Listen, I understand what Craig's saying about Chelsea and how can that they're going to have these options going forward. My only worry with Chelsea, it seems to be a bit of a revolving door when it comes to that position. And if history holds true, how many big-time players have we seen at Chelsea that are one and done after a year? De Bruyne, Lukaku, Mohamed Salah. That's my worry for Raul Jimenez. The big worry I have with United is obviously he's not the first choice striker right now. If you were out to go and get the best striker in the world, which Manchester United is that type of team that can attract maybe the first choice striker in the world, it'd be a Harry Kane, it'd be a Lewandowski. It wouldn't be necessarily a Raul Jimenez. I don't know if Raul Jimenez falls into a rebuild process type of category for me. He's going to be 29 years old soon. How many more years do you have with a forward who doesn't really have a proven track record in what is his European career? Great 2 seasons, or a season and a half, I should say, in what is the Premier League. But do not forget what Raul Jimenez was before this at Benfica, at Atletico, how he really struggled mightily. I don't know if Raul Jimenez right now has the luxury of maybe choosing what said club he wants to. I think if you have the opportunity to play for United or Chelsea, you do it. But it comes with a caveat. It comes with an asterisk behind it, like buyer beware.
Very well. All right. Plenty of marquee clubs. After Raul Jimenez, we'll have to wait and see where he ends up.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.